Climate change is a hoax. We are not saying this, Donald Trump says so. And now he is back in the White House, so it is not surprising that this is his first plan of action: to pull the US out of the Paris Agreement. This is the world's most important climate change treaty. But Trump wants out, and the world is bracing for impact. Meanwhile, other monumental changes are hovering over the planet, from cash talks to clean energy and COP30 to courtroom battles. Our next report brings you the top 5 climate moments to expect in 2025.
We are well into 2025. It's arguably a good time to take the pulse of our planet, because this year is all set to be a big one for climate change. So here are the top 5 climate moments to look forward to. Donald Trump is back in office. As the world braces for his second presidency, the US president is already making waves. And when it comes to climate change, not in a good way. Trump has signed actions on his first day back to pull the US out of the Paris Agreement. This is an international climate change treaty. It was signed in 2015. Nearly 200 countries agreed to work together to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius, but preferably to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Last year, our planet crossed this consequential threshold, so the stakes couldn't be higher. And with Trump backtracking on the Paris Accord, this is a major setback for the world. However, there's growing momentum for climate action. There is booming investment for clean energy in the US and elsewhere across major economies. So 2025 may witness other nations filling the gap left by Trump's disengagement. This brings us to another key event to look forward to: the new national climate goals. Under the Paris Agreement, countries have to submit new climate action plans. These are known as Nationally Determined Contributions, or NDCs. Think of them as climate plans where governments outline how they want to decarbonize their economies and discuss how they intend to protect their countries from the impact of a warming world. These plans are updated every 5 years. Now the NDCs are up for renewal. Nations must submit their new plans by February. Countries like the US, the UK and Brazil have already updated their NDCs, but other major emitters like India and China are yet to do so. As per the guidelines, the world requires carbon emissions to fall by 43% by 2030 if we are to maintain the 1.5-degree limit. The previous NDCs in 2020 only reduced emissions by up to 10%. So this new round of NDCs can be a game changer for climate ambitions and progress, and climate action intently awaits the plans trickling in next month. Another key month for climate change will arrive as the year draws to a close. It will witness the biggest climate event of the year, the annual UN Climate Conference, COP30. It will be held in Brazil in the month of November. This is an important meeting of nations, but this year will be particularly crucial because COP30 marks 10 years since the Paris Agreement. Though critics blame the COP for minimal pull and much less progress, the hopefuls are expecting big changes. A key discussion point will be cash, like investments in clean energy. For renewables, nuclear and energy storage, which hit $2 billion in 2024, it's a major win, because it came as investment in fossil fuels stood at about $1 billion. This is a big jump from the figures in 2015, when investment in clean energy touched $1.1 billion, while that in fossils stood at $1.4 billion. Money talks will also discuss the cash set aside for poorer nations that are bearing the brunt of climate change. At COP29 last year, countries agreed on a $300 billion climate financing goal per year by 2035. Experts claim that this year's COP may bolster this collective target with pledges across nations. Over the past few years, climate lawsuits have exploded all over the world. Cases against fossil fuel giants are piling up. Activists are pushing for criminal charges against climate culprits, and children are suing entire governments. As climate litigation takes the world by storm, courtrooms have become a battleground for the fight against a warming world. And this year, they're expected to witness a range of landmark lawsuits. While some climate action is coming from courtrooms, some of it is being fueled outside our planet with the help of satellites. In recent years, a number of satellites have been launched for data collection of carbon and methane emissions, to track changing routes of marine wildlife migration, and to reduce deforestation across nations. This year, many more satellite launches are planned, like Microcarb, the first European satellite to measure atmospheric CO2 emissions. So expect more data coming your way from outer space. But whether from space or from Earth itself, this is going to be a year-long fight. 2024 witnessed extreme heat waves, deadly floods, and severe drought. It was the hottest year on record. 2025 is not expected to break that record. But nonetheless, it is projected to be a scorcher. The trailer is in front of our eyes with the devastating wildfires in Los Angeles. Today, 10 years after the Paris Accord, humanity stands at an interesting juncture. And how we brave climate in 2025 could change how our future looks.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines. Detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT. Only on Firstpost.